What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. We are back again, back to the rhythm of things. I am, of course, Crash, one of your hosts, and this week we've got a full house. We've got StaticGorilla in the building. What's up?
What's happening? We're back, kind of.
But we're back.
We've
been back, but we're back.
What am I talking about? We're fine.
Yeah, we're good. We're on point. We got Mezza as well. He's back in the character select screen. What's up,
right.
Let
me just leave real quick. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, see you later. Yeah, that's all we get from him. But yeah, guys, welcome to Double Tap, podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. Yeah, we're back. We're kind of getting back to the swing of things. We did our previous episode, centered around 2X KO, which has been out now in early release at this point, season 0, I guess, early access, open access. We did a whole previous episode on just what we thought about the game. We have a little bit of talks about it later in the episode, this week's episode as well. But we've got plenty of things to catch up on. This is really more of an episode where there's just so much stuff that I don't know we're going to get to everything. We're not going to get to everything this week. But we're going to get to some of the stuff that we just wanted to sit down and kick it and have a good old conversation about. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you haven't already, though, before you enjoy the show, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on social media platforms as well as on YouTube, and also you can check out this podcast in video format there. All right, but let's get into it, man. The main thing that we're dropping, because we're coming fresh off of the weekend for it,
is Warwick.
Is what?
Warwick?
Oh, no. Wait, what?
Sorry,
we'll talk about him later.
No, sorry. That just came out here like a surprise because they just surprise dropped him just like that.
Yeah, well, we knew there was a 10th character, but yeah, we'll talk about Warwick and some of the extras later. Yo, Evo France though. Yes. Evo France 2025 has wrapped up the newest addition to the Evo Worldwide Circuit, right? Like this was announced last year alongside with Singapore, right? Like Singapore is happening, I believe it's next year. Well, yeah, I would hope so because there's only fucking November, December left over, so I doubt they're going to squeeze anything else. But Evo France has concluded, and we're going to talk about what we liked about it, what's worked. I think it's more than just like it was a great tournament, because it was a great tournament. It was a great showcase of incredible moments that have happened. But there's something bigger, which I've like kind of pointed at before, and I think it's been basically proven through this event. So let's jump into it. What did you guys get to catch? Did you watch it live? I know myself, I was able to kind of catch it a little bit closer this year because it's France. France is not too far from me. So it was like more or less in my time zone. So I really didn't have to wait up like, Evo Japan or even regular Evo for me to stay up and watch. So that was a good plus for me this year. So I think that's a bonus. What about y'all?
I am, after going there myself, France itself. Well, not France. Sorry, London.
It's
all
London.
the same.
I was about to say you hit the UK.
Yeah, for me, because I run tournaments and usually I do it on France time. So yeah, I was actually up for it. I was actually watching some of it, not all of it, but I did catch most of it on the backlog. But I like. There's some personal stuff I liked about it. I'm gonna say audio video did not suck. That was fun.
Yeah. It was solid. The mix-up, I believe... the mix-up, I believe, were the guys that were running the 2X side of things. But the production was solid. They definitely kind of upped some of the production value in certain areas, which was really cool. And I don't think I saw really any major AV issues or anything. Not to say that we're looking out for it, but that's what like people tend to remember when shit goes down.
I'll say one thing before Gabe goes.
Okay.
My favorite part, at least, was we were not behind desk. We were kind of like this couch type style, which that to me feels it feels a little bit more personal. I think you saw that with EWC. I actually enjoyed that, like just watching it where they feel more relaxed. The commentators feel more relaxed. They can kind of let loose a little bit more instead of feeling like they're proper.
ESPN Sports Center, like it's I do like that feel better because that's just that relates. You relate to that way more, which is like a much better feeling if you can kind of encapsulate that in the event.
And it's the closest place to the deck. I just want you to know.
Yeah, exactly. Closest place to hit the deck. I wonder, it's so messed up. How long we've been in this? I wonder how common that term is to like newer players, like hitting the deck. I'm like, I don't think that's Besides, like, oh, hit the deck, right? Like, as a term, but like actually, like in terms of like fighting game terminology, like, oh, just hit the deck.
I feel like it would be a chant. I feel like it would turn into something that used to just be like, no, oh, he's hitting the deck. Now it's like, hit the deck, like that to me is how I think of it, right? It's now just a chant.
I remember the first time I ever heard it was at the break because Marlin Pie would always play on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just spoil it? It is hit.
For those who don't know.
Hit the deck is hitting the floor.
Yeah, it's hitting the floor. It's when you just get to sit down, not on the chair. All right, but yeah, Static, what about you? Did you get to catch most of it? Was there stuff that you just didn't bother with? Or
there was I don't think I can actually say how and when or during I was watching it, because it was on Friday mornings, early Friday mornings, Saturday mornings, and Sunday morning.
Yeah, you work weekends, right?
I do.
That sigh.
Just saying.
However, without audio,
you work
Friday
mornings, Saturday mornings, and
sometimes I do that too.
Yeah, okay.
5 a.m.
Just wondering. That's a coincidence. It's a really cool coincidence. Really, really cool coincidence.
However, sure. I don't know who's listening. That's okay. I had it on the side, and I had multi-Twitch flowing, and they had it on stream Evo 1, which was just Evo French or Evo France, and Evo 2 all the way up to 6. So basically throughout the whole weekend, they were dwindling down. The first day actually had Hunter x Hunter on their top 8. On the final top 8. But again, they were dwindling throughout the entire weekend. So all of the streams were French except for the Evo main one. Evo main. Evo main was basically the worldwide one, but they were also jumping to different games. So that's pretty cool. I think they were doing that for Evo original, right?
They did it for regular Evo. Okay. I mean, I like the concept, but I don't know 100%. I mean, they only did it for one channel, so it's like, hey, if you want it for one game, just go to that one. But
again, you have to hear it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Me, I had the luxury of not hearing anything and just watching.
I got you.
Except phone calls, but so here's the thing, like, I like the idea. I just don't think it flowed well because it's literally just highlights of or a delayed stream of what is happening on that other side. So, I guess when you want to hear what they're saying, which is helpful, that's good. My problem, I think, is, it's just not flowed. It's just like, hey, we're going to go to this match here. But like, what if the people in that commentary booth don't know that game?
Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough.
So, but it is a concept. I'm sure it can be perfected. I mean, or even just like, oh, here's a highlighted match. Here's a match that we didn't show you that was on here. Or maybe even make that mainstream, not have many ads because you're just catching up on all the matches. And yes, that mainstream's going to hurt, but hey, that mainstream gets the top 8 streams all week, so all weekend. So, I mean, it's going to get its revenue by one way or another. So Hunter x Hunter happened that Friday, I believe.
Say one thing on top of that for you?
Yeah,
I actually think that's not a bad idea. I think they should just remove ads and do what Dota did and just make it a learning channel at that point, where you have somebody. Yeah, they're just going through it. I think that's the move eventually.
That's the thing that we're constantly missing is like actual like analytical segments to it. Like replay, sure, whatever, but like there's I know. I keep wanting to say like, oh, I know, time between matches, sometimes it'll vary, but what's guaranteed is that there's going to be time between matches. Like that's guaranteed. So why not do like analytical segments in between, hey, just spitballing here. Opportunity to also sell some sponsor space if you do these analytical segments. Hey, this analytical segment is brought to you by KitKat. Let's take a break and break down that gameplay that we just saw, right? And you got your KitKat logo and you're telestrating and shit. You got your talent that can do that, which would be cool. But absolutely, something like that. I still feel like we're just not jumping in enough with. I don't want to say it's gonna be make or break, but I think it's something we can harness because at the end of the day, that's like the biggest thing. It's knowledge for fighting games. It's like it's that's what we want to spread the most, and it's like to help understand why players are doing what. Because if we can break it down, especially if we can break it down to such a level that anybody can understand, which that is difficult. You have to have a good talent that can, that can take advanced tactics and kind of break it down to that bite-sized level, like your James Chens that can do that very, very well. Just makes sense. Or your Mezzas. and I'm just like, why aren't we like leaning into that still? Like, I feel like that's a component that it's just dying to be put out there.
Can I say, just for the record, that Kit Kat like sponsorship thing you just did right there, that was great. It made me actually think. I was like, oh, sponsored by Reese's. Don't take a break, take a fast break.
There's no wrong way.
Bro, man,
to eat a combo.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we got it. They should be hiring us for all these ads. Okay, all right, I'm good.
It's easy. It's easy. But yeah. I think that would have been a great addition. But like you were saying, Static, we got to watch Nen Impact, which I didn't watch. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I did not watch.
I watched some.
Like, me neither.
I saw some clips, and I saw somebody got apparently 300%ed. I was like, yo, we played this game? You compete in this?
I was more hyped because Sandula was in there, but he got O2 in top 8, so
it's okay. He got top 8. That means he got a medal.
So did Dylan Yan, and who's a Marvel player. But yeah, they were going. Dylan Yan? Is it Dylan Yan?
Yeah, sure.
Delaney.
I thought you said Dylan Yan.
He won the game at Evo. Yeah. At Evo Normal. Evo Vegas. What do we call it? Evo Normal?
Just Evo Las Vegas.
He beat Diaphone.
For that.
Oh, okay. I want to call it Evo Prime so badly, but you
might have some problems with that.
My big issue was by the time Saturday morning rolled around and I'm making my coffee, it was already grand finals of Dragon Ball, and I really wanted to watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah? Did you not go back and check it out?
I did not. It's already over. It's like, new patch is more attractive, huh?
I can tell you who won.
Oh yeah, I know who won.
Okay, no.
Ikari.
Spoiler.
To nobody's surprise, and also spoilers. Thanks for that.
I don't know how he still plays the game.
Dude, he's insane. To some people, it's more than just riding a bike. It's literally like breathing.
They did not play on the new patch, though. Because it came out. Okay, I just want to make sure.
But this patch is still BS. You have the limit breaks. You have all of the stuff.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it.
No. I'm saying the patch that they were playing on still.
It's still wild.
Craziness. Yeah. Not the craziness that we're about to talk about in the next 20 minutes. Yeah. But so just the experience, the visual experience was good. Again, the stream started dwindling down. You started getting into the weeds of things. And again, that main channel does have panels, things like that. It wasn't hard to follow, but I was just more curious as to the France experience or Nice experience. Nice? Is it Nice?
Nice.
So I just hope people had a good time, had a fun time, because there's just been like people talk about how like the Olympics were a little weird, and like the city can be a city, and that's just the city of France. What can I say, right? Or Paris, excuse me, not France. That's ridiculous.
Just remember, those Olympics is different. They have like a campsite for them. It's not.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. Yeah,
it's a whole.
They have to swim in the water, which is.
We'll talk about that off.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like I hope people had. I mean, again, you can have a bad experience anywhere. I mean, people didn't want to go to Evo Vegas because it was in America. So I mean, like, do you have a lot of people? There's a lot of people that might not have an excuse to go, but man, did a lot of people actually end up going, and that crowd was phenomenal. I mean, they even like people were on commentary mentioning how loud the crowd was, like, as if it was a WWE show. And those WWE shows that are in France are really loud. Like, they are phenomenally loud, and that's an AJ Styles, but like.
France, or French fans are wild. Like, we think, US, we're the most insane. I mean, in some aspects, yes, we are. But bro, when we're talking fighting games, like it is so they are just insane. Which is one of the big things that I really enjoyed about the idea of Evo doing the worldwide kind of circuit, right? Like, Japan was cool, right? Japan had its had its highlights even when we went, and even the most recent ones, like, for sure it's growing and it's getting better. But like when you get to certain regions, it's about to be fucking bananas. In France, like, you had like fans rolling up to the front of the stage, hand in hand with each other and just like chanting and like calling out for the hometown heroes if they were there or who they were just fans of in general. Not the first time. I had a chance to do an event in Every earlier this year. And when I tell you, like, this venue packed, which one? This was, so this was France. This was a smaller one. It was just like about 4,000 or 5,000 people venue. But outside, you had your freaking blue smoke bombs going off, or like, smoke, not grenades, but they're like just, smoke bombs that are just putting out there. People smoke riding flares around in like MCOY mini bikes with flags, and everyone's just chanting, and it's all blue. I'm like, yo, the French really get down. And that was League. That wasn't even fighting games. So I can only imagine it was going to be crazier there.
We only see that in Philly for the Puerto Rican parade.
Dude, it's insane. But the best part about it is I saw it and I understood. I was like, yes, that's what I want to see. I want to see that energy. I want to see that love. I want to see that passion. Which, once again, it's why I think Evo France is just overall a success, because it got to bring that to them. They didn't have to worry about going to the US to do that, right? They got it at home, which is awesome. It's a great feeling. I mean, it's so good that, hey, it's happening again next year, right? I believe it's 9th, 10th, 11th of October of next year. They're going to do it again. So Evo France looks like it's going to continue on, which is awesome.
It's at a good time of the year, too, because the weather and lights are
I think it's solid. I think it's solid.
It just reminds me of like a lot of football. Not American football, but football.
Yeah, football.
And
sorry, I cut you off.
You're good. but no, I think the next step to make it more of like, remember, I watch a lot of F1, so I think the thing that makes it really nice is when you can have it outside of where the people who are already paid to watch inside. Hey, now you have an audience on the outside. Put that big screen up there. Maybe you don't show every game, but you show maybe the main game on stage right now, where they can watch it. Maybe a little bit more clips, a little bit like how Gabe was watching it on the Evo channel. I think that or the top 8 for whatever the big game is, that feels more for the city, or them in general. And I think that because they're already doing all that stuff out there, why not? I think that's a cooler part.
And to add to that, like, one of the biggest things that like I pointed this out when they made the announcement, that like, at that point we only had like Evo Japan and just regular Evo, and we thought, okay, cool, it makes sense, it's Japan, right? This is where the home of fighting games, right? The origination of it, when Capcom brought it out, cool. But then when they were like France, I was like, that's so strange. But I did point out what it does do, and what it did do was really highlight games that just, each region just has a specialty of games. It's audience that is just about it. And in France, what was it? Dragon Ball FighterZ. And what was hype as hell to watch and enjoy? Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like, Street Fighter 6. You couldn't Street Fighter 6 as well. Absolutely, for good reason. Shout out for Mr. Crimson for that crazy ass comeback. And but that was the beauty of it. It's like, what are the chances of us getting a Dragon Ball FighterZ at an Evo Japan or Evo
Singapore, right?
Or Singapore.
To me, Singapore is gonna be like KOF, right?
Right. Like, that's the point. That's where I wanted to really see if it was going to happen. Because each region, just like say like in the States, right? Like, some regions bang with just certain kind of games. They're just about it, right? Like Marvel tag games, like Northeast, right? I mean, sure, it's much more popular now, but like, that's kind of where it was originating from. But if you're going closer to like Mexico or in California, like, you're gonna see more KOF players out there, right? Like, it's just natural. But now we're talking on a worldwide scale, and that's what I really wanted to keep my eye out. And I was just like, yo, how is FighterZ going to be? Sure enough, did not disappoint. It was hype. The matches were amazing. The audience was just showing love to a game that clearly that community, because they had great representation as well, that helped a lot. Cats like Wawa and all, right, were there, or have a great track record of putting the people behind them, and that's all you felt when you were watching. And I was like, to a part of me was like, this is what they're trying to achieve. Like, sure, expanding, great, makes sense, but giving those opportunities for those games and those regions and those communities to still have, even if it's a 7-year-old game at this point, because now Dragon Ball FighterZ was the oldest game on there. Like, it beat out Guilty Gear in terms of being old on the lineup. It's 7 years, 2018.
Came out Evo Japan 2018.
Yeah, that weekend. It's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely nuts. I think that was like the best part of it. Like, don't get me wrong, matches were great, but to see that's what I think was the most hype for me, was to see the community getting that chance still, and especially when it's in home turf, because you know what, they're only going to yell the loudest when they're at home.
Yep.
Right, because that's where they're at home at. That's where they're going to feel the most comfortable. So I was really stoked to see that, and I'm really stoked that they've announced that they're going to be doing it next year. So I can guarantee you, especially what we'll talk about after this quick ad break, that Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to get even buckier the following year, and maybe the following and the following. But yeah, Evo France behind us. We're going to be taking a quick break, guys. When we get back, we're going to talk about some of the things that Evo France has also brought to us to enjoy and check out and announce and speculate, and also just get some impressions on. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Nice to be nice. It's nice to be at Nice with Evo France now finished up. It did bring a bunch of awesome announcements. Some we didn't really expect. Well, okay, there was a couple that we really didn't expect, but this one was really one that came out of left field. We were just talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ and just having that community, get, I don't want to call revitalized, because there's still love for the game no matter what. Like, there's still people playing it, right? If there's 2 people playing it, you got a match, 4 people, or 3 people, you got a round robin, 4 people, you got a bracket, right? That's just how it goes. But to see it have its opportunity again in the big screen is awesome, especially in a hometown like that. But that wasn't enough. Bandai Namco, Arc System Works still had more for us, and we got a new patch announcement that is live by the time of this recording. Yep. About 1/3 of us in this room have had a chance to play it. And not only did we get a balance patch, which I'm like, okay, hey, we'll give the balance patch and be like, that makes sense. We're just tweaking some values here and there, maybe. No, we're adding moves as well, which is awesome. But also content. Getting an 8th Goku in the game in the form of Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the Dragon Ball Daima. Thank you. I was like, it's Kai. Daima. Thank you. That happened like after, that was like last year, or was that this year?
Sometime last year or the last 2 years. I don't know.
No, it was last year.
Okay. I don't follow.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. I know that's not my Super Saiyan 4. Anyway, yeah, they're bringing a new character into the game, which was just like shock, awe, awesome, but also, huh? Like, that was like what threw me off. I was like, really? Another character? This late in the game? I thought we were done. No, Bandai Namco is not done. What'd you guys think when you saw that announcement?
I was pretty hyped at first because remember, I was very busy while I was watching. I was like, oh, okay, they're showing off, because the trailer started to show off champions of the past and showing off the World Tour. The World Tour is coming. Yes. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, dang, y'all can't even bring up that Chris G was one of y'all, But I guess he didn't win the World Championship, but he was one of the better players, Master Roshi, Frieza character. He's a player, and he made it to a World Tour once, the one in France, I think. But he lost. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that, I kept watching their trailer, and then I said, huh, that deflect looks weird. All right, cool. And then I was like, huh, cooler looks stronger. Huh. Again, I'm busy, right? Doing something. And then, out of nowhere, I'm like, who's this? Oh, Super Saiyan 4. Okay, great. But I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to like go higher in like ranks of like the DLC and like Dragon? What's it called? Gogeta was like supposed to be like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is like the strongest.
That's it. Know. Yeah. Where's the tiers at? Where the power levels at?
I mean,
this
Lab
point?
Coat was like up there too, right?
Yeah.
We all know why.
We all know why. But yeah, that's pretty close to my reaction. What about you, Mezza? Like, did you get to watch that announcement, or did you like see it on Twitter or something afterwards? You were like, oh, I thought it was a troll at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought it was a troll. I saw the screenshot first, and then I was like, huh? Oh, that's cute. And then I saw the actual trailer. I was like, oh my god.
I saw honestly, like,
You're a Mezza.
I was scrolling on Twitter. And I see it. I'm like, Dragon Ball FighterZ got an update. Who the fuck asked for this?
You check your time, your watch, the date. You were like, hold up, what?
Not even. I was just like, who the fuck asked for this? Like, seriously. So I start watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. They're getting a world tour, I guess, because, and I was thinking, okay, because of Nice, that makes sense. And then at the end of it, I'm like, they show him, and I'm like, who the fuck asked for this character? I don't remember any of this. Like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we revitalizing this game instead of just making a whole new Dragon with new mechanics and new stuff, right? And it's been so many years. So in my head, I'm like, again, who the fuck asked for this? And it seems like no one really, but people are excited about it. So that's a good thing.
The funniest thing in my head, his theme from Dragon Ball GT Final Bout kept playing in my head. And it's not the best thing, but I do like
Trunks is still the best
soundtrack of that. It is great. Yeah,
but that is a good question, Mezza. Like it's a solid question. Like, yo, who asked for this? But more on the other side is what I thought of is like, what are they thinking? Like, what is Bandai Namco thinking about this and all? Like in terms of supporting a game still, like, you know, being radio silent for so long, there was no expectation. Come out with the world tour, right? The Champs exhibition, and now a new character. It's like, well, you know, for me, it's like they basically acknowledge, right? They acknowledge like the cultural impact that Dragon Ball is. Like, they could update the game, I think, for years, and it will still continue to sell. Like, people will still play this game casually. I'm once again just speaking on a casual level. Competitive side is one thing, and we're always going to be the smaller minority there. But like, if they just keep adding to it, I'm like, what's really the problem here? Is the question.
Can you do me a favor? Can you check the Steam numbers?
Yeah. I'll peep it out.
Check it before, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be much of a change.
I think it will be a slight change, like an uptick. For how long? That's the real question.
An uptick for sure, but the player base never stopped playing. Like, there's always someone to play online. Now in rank, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
or you play the same guy.
I want to bring up a game that's kind of no longer with us. Rest in peace, Multiverses. Look at Multiverses. It took a year, right? And the percentage drop was insane, but it was still high, right? And I look at it as, even over the course of updates, it was still okay. This is something that's coming off of almost a resurgence, and I kind of look at it as, it's kind of because of versus games have been on the rise, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Feed into it, because right now Hunter x Hunter is not hot. So whoever's telling you that's a hot game is not, you know. But right now it's 2x KO, and what else? Nothing, right? It's just 2x KO. So why not slide into that gap while they have the chance before Tokon comes out or before anything else? So I think they fill a gap that isn't being touched, which is, it is an actual genuine 3v3 versus fighting game. We don't have those right now.
I think it's also pretty easy on content to make. Sure. Not just because this patch was so OD, but like we haven't even gone into the patch. We're just talking about Super Saiyan 4. But what's wrong? Are you okay, Mezza? Or you just this?
It's just the first. Can't believe it. It's just the first thing I saw online. I mean, I don't know if we're going into it now, but the first thing I saw when I was on Twitter was, I was like, oh, okay, and then like, literally they're like dropping tonight, and I was like, that's cool. Like now, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna install it. That sounds stupid. And then 10 minutes later, what the fuck is this UI Goku shit? Back for combo time, and I'm like, that was kind of cool, but I'm good.
for a competitive game, it's wild. It's like insane. So let's so before we go into the patch, so yeah, there's definitely an uptick. There hasn't been an uptick like this since actually September of last year. Wow. Right now we're about 3,000 and plus players in the peak. It was on averaging anywhere between like 7 to like 800. Like what's going on before the uptick, right? So yeah, definitely, you know, new content, because once again the patch has dropped. People are playing, but you know, good point to what you said, Mezza, on terms of like, it does still fill a certain gap there, because if there is no 3v3 tag fighter out there, Tokon is like the closest, but that's not really a 3v3, right? It's not 3 health bars. It is just 4 characters and 1 health bar. It's a completely different take. This is a 2v2 when it comes to 2x. But when you're talking roster size and all, and also, like I said, once again, IP based wise, like it's Dragon Ball FighterZ, it's insane. So people will just play it if there's something new that's coming to it.
But there's also a high amount of like TOD stuff that people want to try to research because the damage is so low until you get into the sparking stuff and all of those other TODs that you can do. But even incorporating like the dragons and all of that. So,
and the other side of it is like what you said, Mezza, is like why do this if not just make a new one?
I mean, with new mechanics and get wonky.
Because there you go. I was gonna say one thing they could do is they could test shit on this game. Like literally just fuck it, like random bullshit. Go see what sticks, and then take that onto what works on the next game. Remember, who's we're helping with this? Fucking Arxis.
This is
technically... Arxis. To this day, I will die on this hill. Arxis did 3v3 and Guilty of Strive, so that way fucking Tokon could fucking run. Sure. Because I think they were really like, yo, we need to just do something and see what works. Because they've never done a tag fighter like that. And now they're like, hey, can it be a coincidence? I can't see it that way. And now, like, looking at this, I would not be surprised if this time next year we get a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 announcement.
Isn't it funny when we started playing it, I hopped on and I was like, man, I don't think this works for Guilty Gear, but I was like, maybe this is just being built for something. And I said this before Tokon was even... Yeah. We didn't even know that was going to happen. And I was like, man, this feels like this is made for something else. It just doesn't feel for Guilty Gear. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's built for something else. But yeah, I think that... Look, I don't think it's a bad idea what they just did. I think
no, absolutely not.
I'm going to keep saying, who fuck
I will never say no. I will never say more content is bad idea.
Exactly.
Never.
I feel like this was when they dropped everything for Street Fighter 4 and it was Omega mode added. And people were like, what the fuck is this, right? They were like, why would we ever do this? And then it proceeded to being something that was just never used, which is weird because
some things in Omega Edition was referenced in even Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Like people are saying like, hey, look, this is just some tweaks that we kind of saw in Omega Edition, but now it's like they're just pulling it back. Not saying that like they had it planned all the way back there, but they have something to look at. Exactly. Yeah. Something to reference.
So I do agree this is something that could be something bigger. But man, this is such a weird fucking patch.
Yeah, this patch. All right, so to put it in perspective, this patch literally FighterZ, the last patch, when we covered that last patch, where we were literally giving it like the, good job, you may rest now. It's been fun. Go out in a bang, have fun. Like, we're not taking this serious. You can't take this seriously.
No.
They came back and said, hold up. You thought that last patch was wild. Hold my sensu beans real quick. And they just cranked that bitch up. And now what I saw online, like anyone that was pro in that game, like, or competitive was like,
I'm good.
That's hilarious. Like, that's funny. Or like, I can't take that seriously. Which is why, like at this point, it's like, if we do have it next year, like, whew, brave.
I'll put it this way.
Y'all play this? Like this, y'all play this? This is all I could think of.
It definitely felt like it went from like a 2-touch possible game to everybody's getting 1-touched. It felt very Marvel-esque, which is weird. But I think the best part about it, I like sat on Twitter and I was like, yeah, like if you're playing this game on a competitive level, something's mentally wrong with you. Like,
no, it's not that something's mentally wrong with you, but it is great. Like
no, but
just,
like
once again, on just looking at the competitive side, it is insane. Like you're thinking it might be, you got to be somewhat masochist. You got to hate yourself.
Which is like, I'm like, this seems like fun for 100% casuals. Right now, I said you guys, like people were like, oh, you guys you wanted to play like it was Dragon Ball, this and that. I said to myself, I was like, this is just what they really wanted you to take off the limiters. It's like Rock Lee, but everybody's Rock Lee with weights on like ×2, and they just dropped all of them. It was like, go wild, do whatever you want. And I think the cool part about this is it feels like a Dragon Ball game now. It feels like everybody's just doing wild stuff. Like, come on, you had Goku's just getting insane. Goku Black is dive kicking people like 10 times in the corner.
Yeah, he's an actual character now.
Gohan's literally he's getting level 7 just for touching you. I'm like, you know what? Okay, that's cool. Someone's gonna have fun.
I feel like they're taking it back to like, you know, the joke of like, what is the most perfectly balanced game is the game that is unbalanced, like where everything is just broken. Now you've attained true balance, because can't complain about bullshit. Everything's bullshit. Exactly.
I think it's
can't complain about it.
My only issue is that there's been so many changes throughout the years that there are different mechanics throughout many moves. So there's so many things that are unwritten. You can look at the move list and you don't know what. Yeah. And then the thing is, like, it's better off looking at maybe a wiki page to find out what every move actually does, and just so that you can know what can move into what, because there are even like special moves that go into special moves. If you're doing a sparking, this move goes into that move, and it's just like, it's kind of overwhelming. Like I'd have to have kept playing the game at a significant level to have actually wanted to keep going.
Keep up with it.
Yeah, to keep up with it. Yeah.
I'll say this one funny thing. Gabe literally shows me a clip, because I played Cell, right? And he's like,
who did, dog? Who did?
I mean, no, but I was like one of the first, so it's fine, you know. Even in beta, against Joe, we'll say it that way. I have footage still. Gabe goes, "Oh man, his 2H says it's supposed to move forward," and I'm watching him do it on like he showed me the replay, and when he moved forward and slid, I was like, my jaw dropped, and I was like, "What's this for? Who's this for?" And I was like, "What does this do?" What, like,
Cooler already had that, but he also got a longer one, and it has armor. But Cells doesn't. But still, Cells is gonna hit that far. Like,
hands down, I'll say this, and I'll leave it at this. This might be the biggest patch of all fighting games that we've ever seen in one sitting. I don't think there's been any fighting game that's had such a big patch that's changed every character in the game all at once, and the mechanics, and just like it's just too much. It's system overload.
Well, I've only checked out the characters I like to play and the characters that I knew were BS. But like Super Blue Hair Vegeta, he can do a homing Final Flash. Like anywhere on the screen, you just insert quarter circle back 2 buttons, Final Flash anywhere. Goku's freaking Warp Kamehameha is more like a homing Kamehameha. However, Dre was in my chat when I tried it, and it actually missed, and I was like, "That's funny," but it goes under them wherever they are, and just
the game doesn't even play by its own rules.
And I forgot they also added super dashing out of that Kamehameha blast. So like. That's not in Sparking nor on Limit Break. So there you go.
I'll say again, who the fuck asked for this?
Yeah, like,
because there had to be one little kid. There was one little kid. It was like a Make-A-Wish kid. It's like, please make Dragon Ball FighterZ
Brawl. Please, Shenron.
I only got one.
Please, John.
Only got one life to live. It's not very long. I need to see this happen. And it's crazy. It's cool that it did. I'm not gonna lie. I have fun watching all the tech and watching people break down and cry.
Yeah, I'm down for it. And I think we're going to be seeing clips like that for quite some time. But Dragon Ball FighterZ wasn't the only thing that also dropped. We ended up getting announcements for an additional, like, we're in a renaissance, right? It's a renaissance of fighting games all over again. And we're getting new players on the block. This time also, just a quick heads up on it, is like the Avatar game that got announced. 2D traditional style game. Like, I don't know what else to state. It's just like you're a pretty standard one, and internet will be the internet. People are for it. People are shitting on it. What about you guys? How y'all feeling about it?
So Mezza
and why is Tom top one? Go on.
Because yes, Mezza and I, however, were we discussed it very briefly. And he's like, "What do you think about it?" And I just go, "Eh." But then I saw more footage of it, and I'm like, it does resemble the cartoon's first couple of seasons style, because the first seasons were very hand-drawn, were very like 30, 25, 20 FPS type deal.
Yeah.
But it still catered to the show. Now, they didn't show actual combat. They showed more of like, they didn't show much interaction. Just like, here's a move doing this on somebody, or here's this going there on somebody. So it was pretty cool. I do like how Korra was moving, using the earth into the water, I'm sorry, she's just using all 4 elements.
She's the best character right now in my eyes.
More than Aang is doing, obviously, because Aang is, Aang is Aang. What you were saying?
Look.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, I didn't say that. I like the potential. It's a pretty alpha, man. I'm not gonna go too hard, but I'm gonna go hard. All right. Look, 2026, right? We got some time, right? We got some time.
Yeah, we got
some summer
time.
2026. It looks like hot fucking garbage. Okay.
No,
bro. It is the PNG fighter. I almost want to say it's almost as bad as when KOF 14 came out. It's almost as bad as Hunter x Hunter right now, bro. Hunter x Hunter is stiff as fuck and looks like they're animatronics.
Nope. I'm gonna challenge you right now. I have a game that's worse. Wait, I know a game that's worse. That's coming out.
But I'll say this. I saw the potential. I do like the art style. It's still a little too PNG for me. They need more animations added.
Okay.
But hands down, I was like, this might be the first, single player anime fighter that we've had in a long time. That actually, outside of Guilty, right? What was the last one we had? And I'm not going to count Tokon because it still has assist in it. Supposedly, we're not supposed to have assist because people have been misconstruing. They said it's the secondary characters are supposed to influence the main character. We don't know what that means. So we don't know if that's really an assist or not. But I have zero hopes for this game, but I have high hopes for the potential of what is to come for the future because we're starting to see so many anime and cartoon IPs coming out. I love that. I love. So give me more Avatar.
I would agree with that. That's cool. Yeah. However, I would agree that another IP that I don't feel like is better looking than this is Invincible. I have a hard time looking at Invincible, okay? That's part of the reason why I didn't want to play it, even though everybody going, oh, it really plays well. I'm like...
It's stiff. It's harsh. It's harsh.
If the eyes aren't pleased, it's kind of tough sometimes. But at least on the plus side for the Avatar fighting game, which is Avatar Legends, the fighting game, 12 character roster to start. Yes, so already more than 2x KO. So hey, we're already
it's all likable characters.
And it's a non-tag game. So
we need
that's already.
However, any favorites that you'd want to be in there? Because I'm looking forward to Ty Lee, but I don't think.
Oh, you're like me.
I don't think Ty Lee will be in it. I think because you already saw a background character was Mai, and Mai was already. I don't know. I guess you can pick a background character because we saw Zuko with Jade, who is the lady with the moles, and then you saw, I think it was Aang with Mai in the back. So I guess maybe it's like main characters. We already saw Katara, Sokka. I almost said it like the bad movie. Oh my god. Toph, Aang, Korra, Azula, which is great. You gotta have Boomy. You gotta have the boulder in the background somewhere. The boulder.
I think there's 2 characters we didn't see that were kind of like pivotal characters, which is Suki. We did not see Suki, which I think that's going to be one.
It's going to be a support.
And we didn't see Iroh. We did not see Iroh.
He's got to be in there.
He's going to have to be.
So, I mean, look, it's already got us talking about it. I think Avatar has always been a great series. They have dozens of books with history. They could literally pull from anything and everything. I personally really liked what they were trying to do because even Aang's combos look kind of wild. I was like, yo, this shit kind of fire. All right. I was like, PNG's moving. But
PNG's is framing. Was that 8 frames? That's crazy.
Actual 8 frames of frames.
I'd like to see Jet or and even what's it called? Any Bloodbender from Korra's seasons. But again, that'd be cheating because it just psychic powers you and whatever.
I have the puppet.
Like I said, I have zero hopes for this, and maybe that's the best way to go into this. It's not supposed to be like this like super hardcore competitive scene that's gonna have like 5,000 people plus playing competitively. I just see it as like it's gonna be one of those games I pick up to play with you guys, play with some other friends, and I'm like, it's cabineted. Like it's in the cabinet. It's cool.
This is there.
We can go back to it whenever, right? But I'm not gonna like.
I just know it'd be a missed opportunity if you don't do something with the Cabbage Guy. Just saying, Cabbage Guy ain't in it in some way, shape, or form. Y'all missed out. You aren't real fans. But I know what our real fans are. taking this ad break. We'll be right back, guys. After this, we got a couple more things before we wrap up the episode, but we got some pre-release on a certain character that technically is released by now, maybe. Find out who we're talking about after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We just got done talking about the new Avatar game as well as the state of Dragon Ball FighterZ. But what else are we getting into is a pre-release perception, impressions, and overall thoughts on the latest characters getting added to Street Fighter 6. Mama Viper is in the building. See Viper. She is coming out, I believe. I mean, today's technically it's the 15th for me, but it should be on the 14th, correct? So it should be today for you guys.
The character guide says the 15th, but that 15th? It happens tonight when they go offline.
Is that is that at 12 or is that at like 2 a.m.? It's like that, I mean, it's like
it's one of those. I think 3 a.m. 3 a.m. go down. Because 3 a.m. going down is like kind of like midday for Japan.
Oof.
And you gotta remember California, right? So
yeah,
I do have something else to bring up afterwards. So just remind me afterward. But it is Street Fighter related.
So see Viper. Not only is she around the corner from getting released, but we also did get a character guide. So I got to check out like when she got announced. I was like, oh, or when her the world tour part of her was shown off, and we found out she's like. She's been there like this whole time, just dressed as someone else, like no makeup, the glasses, and the hair done a different way. Makeup does amazing things. But we actually got a character guide that got released as well. And I mean, all in all, she has everything I expect her, but some nuances when it comes to Street Fighter 6. One of the main things she doesn't have is a good stance. Her idle stance is what the fuck happened?
Trash.
Like Street Fighter 4, like she's got like some groove, she's got some motion, she got some secondary action. This shit is kind of like borderline like some MK3 type shit where she's just like this. Like I mean, not to knock the Capcom animators, but y'all like really dropped the ball. Like compare Street Fighter 4 to this, it's like. Yo, what happened? Even if you try to add the classic costume to be like, all right, cool, like it's the costume, it's throwing me off. No, the damn classic costume feels stiff as shit. Like, speaking of having a suit, that was like my only big gripe with it. I mean, past that, like her gameplay is pretty much to the T with Street Fighter 4 with some nuances, right? So we've got your usual suspects, we've got your burn kicks, we've got your seismic hammers, you've got your Thunder Knuckles, right? She's got different angles for the Thunder Knuckles. It's her anti-air if you do the heavy version. Seismic goes in 3 different, areas depending on the strength of the button. And Flame Kick, yeah, you can Flame Kick, right? Like there's different heights. The light one that doesn't keep momentum, while the medium and the heavy keeps the momentum. And she has things like high jumps, right? Like she's got her super jump, excuse me. But there's the asterisk part is kind of where it begins. She requires like drive meter to kind of do certain actions in her kit that back in like Street Fighter 4 days, it wasn't the case. It was just part of her, what she could do. She could always super jump no matter what, didn't need anything extra. EXs were EXs, there was no difference there. She played by the rules there. She could still do feints. That's just all part of her kit. But being able to super jump and have follow-ups to all her moves, like her Thunder Knuckle and her Flame Kick have follow-ups that if you spend an additional drive bar, you get a follow-up to squeeze out damage once people get their hands on her. Maybe there's some potential combo routing here that we may not be aware of. Maybe some very difficult stuff. But these follow-ups are not only just to get things like damage, but these follow-ups give you things like frame advantage. Even if they're blocked, like you still get to keep your turn. So you get to kind of trade some more resource from her to kind of continue her pressure, which is what she was in 4. She was insane. Like if you got knocked down in certain angles and she high jumped, there were setups that were like so ambiguous on the Flame Kick that you just had to eat it. And like sure, maybe eating 1 is one thing, but by the time you're eating 2, 3, you're losing a good chunk of health. And then the feints, right? The feints is another component that has made its way through. So we're talking oppression. I know I was making that MK comparison earlier, but it feels like with her, what's the armor? What's that new joint that she has? It's the armor of hers.
Counter.
Focus Force, which is, it's called Focus Force. Basically, she just has the ability to actually just have like a counter, like armor, like one hit of armor available to her. So now she can do feints, and also she can cancel into this armor, which is kind of like, almost like fireball canceling, like stance canceling in MKX, for those that remember that shit, like how oppressive that was. I'm like, that's what I'm seeing. I'm like, this character feels like she is just gonna be, well, if she has the resources, she's just going in, which I feel like that's like the extreme to her, right? Like now, most characters in Street Fighter 6, you've got parry, drive rush, I mean technically drive impact, but like only if you get hit by it. But like parry, drive rush, and EX all deal with your drive gauge, right? Like, I'm not counting the blocking or anything, because it's at that point, that's a different vector that your opponent attacks. But that's where that resource gets spent. Viper is the only character in the game that also uses drive gauge just in general to expand her kit in some way, shape, or form. Which means she is probably the most resource heavy character so far in Street Fighter 6. Like, her being burnt out is much more impactful, because now you're literally locking yourself off of like high jumps, like certain paths and routes that you just can't do. Like even offensively, like when you're burnt out, your offense is not as strong, because now you don't have follow-ups that help you keep your oppression, your turn when you're engaging your opponent. So that's like the biggest fault I see of her right now, is like she's super oppressive here, like just off the Richter scale, but then like if she doesn't have resources, it's like it kind of maybe dulls down. And also I haven't seen her buttons yet, so like I don't know if her actual like limbs are like solid, but I mean if they're anything like Street Fighter 4, so they should be good. But if it's Street Fighter 6, like they're gonna she
still has stand heavy kick, which is really good. The stand heavy kick that she used to have.
Yeah, in the guide it says all normals are jump cancelable except for sweep.
Yes, except for crouching sweep. Yeah, for actual sweep. Which is crazy. That's insane.
I actually find her to be kind of interesting, because I've always said before that I feel like the game's kind of gotten stale with all the characters they keep putting in, kind of all do the same functionality. I know this is something everybody kind of talked about. Drive rush this, drive rush low medium, drive rush that. She's the first technical character, my personal opinion, out of the whole game, outside of like playing Sim or something like that, right? She feels like the most technical character built around the gauge bar that actually, it's funny, like she never had this limit really besides EXs in Street Fighter 4. Marvel, she didn't have a limiter. She kind of just did whatever she wanted still. But this would be the first time I feel like they put a limit on her, but based off of the gauge bar, which allows you to break past that limit. It's kind of interesting, because now you're meter management. You are picking and choosing what's worth damage, what's not. You have more options. This is the first time I feel like if anybody wanted to get into Street Fighter 6 again, or in general, this would probably be the character. She's probably going to be difficult. I'm not going to say she isn't. She's probably the highest end of technicality. She always has been.
Kind of has been, yeah.
So I would say they might have made it a little bit lighter, but she would be the perfect character if you want a little bit of a challenge, but you might want a bigger reward. And that's just how I always felt about her. She's hard, but worth it.
Well, one thing I've seen, really quick, from the footage that I've seen, her damage is really high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be the trade-off. Like, use the meter, get the damage, get the most damage. Like the guy says, squeeze out the most damage you can, get burned out, and then just lame it out. If they jump in, you have an anti-air, And
so it's not just to lame it out, but one thing I did mean to also bring up is like, she has one particular super that kind of is a free pass to do what she does. So there's the limit decoupler, which is one bar. She does like a flip kick, and it can be used in a combo and such. And it's like, you might think, okay, cool, it's a regular level 1 or whatever. But that's not actually the crazy part about it. It's like her heals are basically, because she's a character that uses gadgets and shit. Everything about her suit and what she has on is a gadget of some kind to help her in combat. This level 1 basically overloads. I don't know if there's a detriment to it, like, because it looks like there should be, but they didn't really go into it to detail. They only gave you the positives, which is when she does this level 1, whether you hit or not, you're now in this mode where the gauge drops, kind of like feng shui or whatever, right? You're in like an install mode, now all her follow-ups, her high jumps or whatever, can still be done even if you're in burnout. It ignores the requirement of drive gauge when she's in this mode. So it's basically a way to kind of combat that. You know, you're then once again using resources to kind of give you your kit, to let her be the complete character. Whether you have drive gauge, it's not the only way to deal with, because technically that would be kind of bad, because like your opponent can attack that resource throughout the entirety of a match, right, and kind of lock you out, force you out of it. It's bad enough you don't get parry or drive impact, but now imagine that you just literally lose certain mobility options, certain attack and combo options because you blocked. Kind of feels a little unfair. So there's an option to kind of counter that by using a different resource that your opponent can't really attack, which is your meter. So I foresee like this character, if there's no real detriment to using this level 1, I could see setups where, you know, there's something that they do, some sort of setup that leaves you plus enough that you can kind of install on knockdown and then continue your aggression. And if it's ignoring your drive gauge, then you're able to then like basically kind of play in drive with as if you did have drive gauge, even if you are burnt out. So that means she could still be oppressive kind of at all points, even when you just drain it. And then by the time your drive gauge comes back, you can kind of like rinse and repeat almost, right? It's actually pretty dangerous. I'd forgotten they kind of like put that at the end, and I had forgotten it for a second, but they at least thought about that, because otherwise, yeah, it would suck if you were only engaged, you were only like reliant on the drive gauge, because your opponent could just put you in such a checkmate situation that like you just couldn't do anything about. Like, kind of sucks, right?
I kind of said this before, but I'll say it again. I truly believe they tried to make her fun, technical, but fit the system. Because I gotta be honest, Sagat just is trash. He does not fit the system. And what I mean by trash, not the character itself play-wise, but it's no different. They didn't really expand on what he could do with the drive gauge and everything like that. It's just kind of another character that uses that. And this is kind of my gripe with the game right now, and I think C Viper kind of expresses that more than anything. If the character didn't have expansive play before, they don't fit very well into this game. Like, they'll fit, but they're not fitting with the mechanics as well. And I feel
it's difficult.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, we make new characters, but I do want to also defend this before people say otherwise. It is not a my install. Let's just get that out of the window. Okay? It's not a my install. I think this is something very, very unique and different in its own way, where even in my install, yeah, you keep it after if you still had it, you keep it even if you're exhausted, but it's just different, right? It's to benefit her kit versus something being oppressive and just being like, okay, this is just one of her moves, and it just makes it more of a mix-up tool. This actually makes her kit usable, which is, I feel like that's rare for a lot of characters. No, but Jamie's the only character that could be exhausted, still have the drinks apply to something for the mechanics and also help get back to his mechanics. I think that's something interesting that they should look at more.
You're onto something.
I could see that. But I mean, overall, I think she, you know, it's always a tricky thing to make legacy characters fit to a new game, because you're trying to fit like their kit and how they played and how they're remembered in their last variation to this version of the game, right? With the mechanics and all that.
Stop making fucking legacy characters. It's that simple. It's that simple. I've said it before and I keep saying it. This game doesn't need more legacy characters. This game needs all new characters. We keep playing, it's been 35 fucking years and we're still playing the same characters. Like, come on, man. I get it.
Guile learned to walk while he's crouching. All right?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. We got those characters. We just need new characters. I think the series needs to progress so that the mechanics can start changing more. We've already seen the mechanics change more, but the characters aren't the best fit for these mechanics, and they're trying to force them in like a puzzle piece, and I'm tired of it. That's just my personal opinion. But I love C Viper. I think she's great for it.
And to their credit, though, remember, this is C Viper's second only Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like, we went down this road with fucking Jury in 5.
Yeah.
And now Jury in 6, it's like we've kind of like accepted.
Jury in 4. She was in 4.
Well, Crashtag was just Street Fighter.
We're not.
Yeah, but Rufus had a game in there. Even Abel was in there.
Yeah, I know. Not Viper. But that wasn't a just standalone Street Fighter. So
I know.
But yeah. So this is it's weird to say because we're like, yeah, we've known because we've seen her in other games like Marvel and shit too, right? We're like, yeah, she's been around. It's like, well, actually, no, she hasn't technically been around in a Street Fighter since her first appearance in 4, right? Like, it's insane to think, but that's how it is. So we're just catching up. Like it'd be the same if it was Abel. It'd be the same if it was Rufus.
Yeah,
it'd be the same if it was El Fuerte, right?
Say it. So much DiCaprio.
DiCaprio. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, there's one more, right? Yeah, DiCaprio and shit, right? We're just getting it right now with Viper. It's a little weird, but I think the essence is definitely there.
Yeah.
It's just we're just gonna have to see how she fits with everyone else having these kinds of mechanics on deck.
That alternate costume is fantastic. The original?
Oh yeah. Like, I'm sorry, don't get me wrong. I love the hair out and everything on the lab one. Cool, great. It looks very mature, right? She's a mother after all.
Yup.
But we know what we like. We know when we think Sea Viper, we know we want that big ass French braid going down her back. We know what it is.
Nope. I like
really.
I like the new look. I like the new look.
You like the new look better?
I think it's more modern, and I love that. Like they're moving.
I think it's in
I like
all these nostalgia glasses. Dog. I'm just checking it out.
I always like the suit and tie. But this is something a little bit more. She's still technically like a scientist. So
listen, I don't think it's professional to have your jacket unhooked, but like hooked to the back of your neck.
What do you mean?
She's like Azrael. It's like, are you gonna kick me with the jacket or no?
Have you seen all the assassins nowadays? They wear skirts and dresses.
Every character DSGorilla uses has a jacket. Bison, Azrael. I'm telling you, look this up. Yeah, Ed. DSGorilla's just jacket using.
Some don't have their shirts on, okay? So like, he's just trying. They're trying to give this.
Oh, is that why you like Viper? Because she has half a shirt. Let me stop.
I'll settle for boob window and tie in between. I'm cool. There you go.
Okay, what if they give her the hair? They give her the braid.
The braid, bro. The braid is iconic. The braid is iconic.
I do wish they had like alternate costume segments that they could do, sort of like what Street Fighter 5 did, which I'll commend. Street Fighter 5 had cool like alternative costumes to the alternate costume, like Chun-Li with the sweater off, or Sagat with the movie costume for some reason.
Yeah, and we got Mech.
I was gonna say Mecha Geef. Yeah,
just recently too.
He also got a theme. He also got a new theme, which was really cool. Pure heavy metal.
Hold on. Speaking of theme, did you hear Viper's theme? It's probably the best song in the game.
I don't think I did.
You know what? I have to re-listen. I listened to it, but I gotta re-listen to it because, like, I don't know. I feel like I have to get it one or two more times to really feel it.
The best.
And I know we didn't talk about this and we didn't write it down, but I just want to state, what are they doing to circumvent? Because obviously now that we're seeing with like 2XKO and all these other games, what are they doing to circumvent for costumes? Because I feel like they're still working on the what I call the My Player, or the World Tour
World Tour stuff.
I feel like not, and I don't want to look at it as like just a competitor, but like if I casually just want to play Ryu with like dirty Ryu that's like shirt off, or like something from the old days, or like Samurai Ryu, why am I not getting these extra costumes? There's no new game coming out anytime soon. They're putting out characters in Season Pass game. I'm gonna let you go. But I'm just curious. Why are we not having this being circumvented? I know they attempted, but I don't really feel like they did.
I feel like they are coming out with new costumes very slowly, but not as slow as before. Because remember the time when Ninja Turtles were out, and it was they were just throwing out stuff for World Tour characters, and we're all like, all us competitors are like, all right, please. What are we waiting for? However, I think we're getting some costumes, which is good. It's not enough, but
Season 3.
I'm gonna slightly change topic. Dre, did you have something to say about the costume thing?
I was saying like, hey, I think it's rather slow. I'm surprised at how long it's taken for them to really get us some more costumes. But I don't know. I really don't know what the plot, what they're plotting in behind. But maybe once this season pass will be the one. I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence as to what Capcom is thinking in terms of the costume, considering how much they were able to put out with 5 which is ironic because we were then comparing 5 to 4, and it's like this is just a drop in the bucket.
And if you're just gonna do crossovers like Ninja Turtles or whatever, just make it so that the costumes are for some of the characters in the game, like Street Fighter characters. That's all.
No, I agree. So speaking of what Capcom is thinking, do we already know where I'm going with this? Did you check any other comments of the Sea Viper guy?
What about them?
They are all about spending $40. They said, "Thank God I don't have to spend $40 to watch this video."
Oh,
every single one of them. Every single comment.
Okay, so you're talking about the pay-per-view for Capcom Cup this year.
Yeah. Sorry, this can of worms is gone, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not worms is gone. It's just like, damn.
It's a good topic to bring up because
like you said, Static. So there's now this year for Capcom Cup. Historically, it's a free-to-watch event.
Twitch.
In Japan, it's been pay-per-view for quite some time actually. Yeah. Like there's stuff, other content that happens, right? But yes, like that's not new over there. But to expand that past to the general audience is kind of like wasn't taken too well for something that historic that's just been free now to pay, however much, which I guess is that $40 equivalent. That didn't go too well. Luckily, since that announcement, Capcom has acknowledged it and they're reworking what the amount is. They actually did put out an official statement. For me, I'm like, it sucks for them because they're gonna make way less money. Someone's gonna restream it somewhere. It's gonna be now like it's gonna get treated like sports isn't on Reddit. Like, yo, where do free streams at for NFL or for MLB or for the NBA? Because like I'm not paying for that shit, and someone's streaming it somewhere. Like it's gonna be the same deal here.
I'll pose a good question because we see wrestling's gone to it, football's gone to it, and more sports are doing it. I hate what I'm about to say, but is it better to just get on an actual, platform like Amazon or Amazon Prime or Hulu or whatever, right? I mean, that's where
fighting games isn't big enough though. That's the thing. That's why also there's I think that's why there's also enough controversy because like we're not big enough to like kind of justify the pay-per-view. Like why do that? Like it's something that's historically been free. I mean, Capcom, and I know it's Capcom Circuit, and like, the thing I'm worried about is that enough people buy into it still that Capcom goes like, it was a great success because if Capcom's not only just do it again, but now Tekken World Tour, Arc World, like the others will follow suit and do the same fucking thing, right? Like that's what I'm the most worried about. And yeah, like I said, people have voiced it. It's funny, even cats like Daigo have been like, yeah, no, I wouldn't watch. Like it's been very real about it, just based about like it doesn't make sense.
We're
not big enough to justify it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. Why wouldn't I? Damn, that's a good call out. That's a good technicality there.
What are you doing? Why aren't you there?
It just did not bode over well. And I'm glad that they've like heard. I just hope they. It's kind of tough to be like, oh, it needs to be 0, but it's like, well, hey, they put out $1 million pot every year now for Street Fighter. They got to make their money somewhere. So part of me is like, it needs to be sustainable somewhere. But then again, if you want to do that, hey, you can sell some costumes. Just saying, why not just sell Capcom Pro Tour costumes that support the pot or support the viewing experience for you, so you don't have to do this. Like, this isn't new. This has been a thing for decades, over a decade. KI has done this. Street Fighter 4 has done this. Street Fighter 5 has done this. Like, there's so many games that have done this. I'm like, why are we going just this route? You could have plotted this out way better.
With them doing like a $5 pass for the weekend or something like that, right? And I'm thinking like, if we were to do this and limit it, like how would it be respectful for the new people coming in and maybe like, let's say we all are right next to each other, right? I might be like, yo, I'm getting it for $5 for the weekend, guys. Like, or $10. Hey, we gonna just watch it together at this point. Yeah, they don't have as many viewers technically, but they do because maybe next year, how we are now, where we're a little bit more separated, you might pay for the $5. I paid for the $5. Gabe might be on the road,
The Discord streams are gonna go crazy.
Oh, but that's how they watch fights. That's how they watch UFC.
the discords are gonna pop off for that. If it continues on, it's gonna be like, yo, so someone's gonna go right to Discord, like, yo, who got it? I do. Yo, stream that shit. Yeah, I got Nitro. Let's do this.
Yeah, but it's better than someone still doing it for free. You know what I mean? Because we were doing that for free anyway. So now it's just somebody's paying for it, which is cool. But I also think even maybe do the formula if you're gonna do that $40. Do the formula of what F1 does, what ESPN does with certain sports like tennis, where you get full access and you get year-round content. I mean, look, MLB, I don't know how they get people, but they make you pay $120 a year to sit there and watch possibly every game, any recordings, a live broadcast for if you don't have it live, you have the radio cast. Maybe that's something they need to start looking into if they want to do this type of pay-per-view. I think the word pay-per-view versus subscription is a little bit more, is a little less enticing for people of our caliber who are kind of like, well, I'm going to watch the event, but that's really it. I'm not going to pay for YouTuber fight. No way in hell. I'm not paying for YouTuber fight. So it's like, why would I pay $40 for that when if you said, hey, we have year-round content for $120?
I got you. So it's an interesting situation. Like I said, I think if they would have planned out a bit better for this event, like I said, do a costume. Like, it kind of just writes itself. We don't have enough costumes. Throw something that celebrates. People will want to support. They know it's going to go towards the pot or the players or, to the community. And if it allows for a stream to happen, then yeah, let's do it. Like, I don't see what the problem is, because especially when you make it like, it's a limited, people will buy it for, it's collectors, but it's like, it's limited. This is the 2025 one. You're not going to see this on the shop. You only can get it right. Maybe a little bit of FOMO there, but it's for supporting. It's a better way than just dropping this, just like being pay-per-view, because it just did not work out for a lot of people.
Or
an opportunity where you could have also even done things like make it work in, like, I don't know, Battle Hub in the game. I was about to
say, yeah, or you put it on the Battle Hub. And
put it on the Battle Hub. Now you're going to see numbers skyrocket, where you're kind of creating now this virtual environment that you've already kind of put so much work into, and now there's an opportunity. Hey, just watch it here. Special event at Evo. You watch it here, you get a costume. Your numbers are going to go crazy. It's like, why go the route of pay-per-view? We're not.
Why haven't they done what?
Work out.
Just do what Evo does, where you do like, oh, you want to buy the Capcom Pro Tour jacket if you couldn't come and show up. Hey, guess what? We have it 25% off or 20% off. I'ma buy it. I'm not going to Capcom Cup ever. It might be the dopest jacket of all time. Gabe has one of the dopest Evo jackets in the back. I would buy it if it was like on sale right now, 20%, or even just, hey, you could go buy it, right? And then all proceeds go to them running these streams and everything else. That's $120 right there per person. And I know people would spend $120 over $40 because they're receiving.
I just don't. Here's the other thing that's a kicker. You know what's funny? I would pay for pay-per-view if I don't get ads. Right. If you're paying for pay-per-view and you still get ads, you are fucked. Like, you are done. Like, no one's gonna trust you. No one's gonna watch that shit. They're gonna be doing it the next day. They don't give a fuck. Like, if I'm paying for pay-per-view, I better not get ads.
Wait, are we gonna get ads?
Probably. Their own ads, like Chipotle and Riyadh season. You are.
We're not gonna get like an in-between, and this is where the analytical breakdown stuff should be. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah, that's right. I am actually willing to actually pay for it just to test it if they do that. I want to see, because obviously I don't think you should, but like I really don't want to support it, but I want to see. I think that's what I'm gonna do when they do the
party at your house, just like we did last.
No, but that's what we're probably gonna do anyway. But yeah, like I want to see how that works out, because if there's ads,
I'm kidding. Stop.
Either or. But no, if there are ads, that's a great example. But I did not even think about that. Holy shit, that's bad.
But this is just, once again, from their experience in doing it, like it's happened in Japan. Japan wants to do it. Cool. Maybe Street Fighter becomes a little more centric towards Japan. Whatever. It is what it is. We've got other games.
Thanks, Riot.
We'll just see what happens. But yeah, good call out on that, Gabe. Oh man, do we have time for the next set of well, we can do something real quick. So this is just, I guess, your weekly 2XKO like tidbit section. There's plenty of things that we can talk about. But let's keep it to let's talk seasonal characters.
Yeah,
because we're in the midst of season 0, right? Season goose egg, where we got our 10 character roster, and when season 0 ends, which I believe is slated to be January, sometime in January, like 13th or something like that, we're going into season 1. It's already been established that every season is going to have one character added to it. So if there's 5 seasons in a year, you get 5 characters. Let's talk about that now. So, primarily it's a 2v2 game, right? You get so many combinations of characters, right? But then you also got to throw fuses on top, and there's just a buttload of combinations you can make. Adding one character, especially once every 3 months or something like that, 2 months. It's like 5. Yeah, it has to be like every 2 months, like something like that, and some change. To a tag fighter is like. Does anyone think here that's too slow, or do you think it's enough to kind of hold you over? Because that's the tricky part. Because when it comes to tag fighters, like there's just so much tech and so many layers that we got 2 new characters between the closed beta and the early access, right? Season 0 early access. We got 2 more characters, Teemo and Warwick. And I think that's given us a lot of content. I think there's been a lot of tech, there's a lot of teams, right? There's a lot of exploration, and still going on. Not in any means am I saying that it's like all done and figured out. But, people are exploring, and it's, content is being made constantly, daily. It's only been about a week technically since early access has been out. But yeah, do we feel like 2 characters should be the number, or are we okay with just 1 character per season?
You want to go first, Gabe, or you want me?
I'll go. I mean, the thing is, you have Street Fighter, who, dare I say, they took a while with their characters, but again, the game actually was able to pick itself up and keep keeping itself up. You got Fatal Fury, who comes out with 1, 2, 3. Was it Ken? Who was the other character that came out with it? No, it was just Ken and Joe.
Joe just came out. Andy was out too.
Oh yes, Andy, Ken, Joe. Thank you. Joe just came out, and you have Chun and Big Guy. So my thing is, the game doesn't hold itself up and needs a DLC to sort of keep it updated. Whereas 2XKL right now is really popping off. I don't think there's a fall off much, but people keep complaining about specific characters. They might. So my thing is, how do you balance that ratio out? Because it's frustrating that Street Fighter took so long to get some variety of character that I'd like to play. But then there's Fatal Fury, who just takes so long. They announce a character a month before, and then they're finally released. So there definitely has to be that balance in between. So I'm all right with it happening because the game is so fleshed out. I don't mind it being a little bit later or sparsely in between. And they have a lot of content that's already coming out. I don't know if we can talk about the shop, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the shop is purely cosmetic, so I don't think it's applicable here. I'm thinking about just how a character adds to the depth, right? Adds to the depth of a game.
I think
that's the primary thing that changes. That's what changes between seasons. Like adding a character adds another variable now to how the entire game can be played.
And I think there are a lot more, Combo Fiend, functions that I think need to be addressed in the game to make it feel a lot more relatable to others. Because sometimes I don't have a specific character archetype. I'm more of a show off. You know me, I like to have show off combos. That's why I pick Yasuo, even though his combos are really dry now. But they were cool before. And then I had to pick Echo, but we've had this conversation all day yesterday and stuff. But I don't mind. I feel I'm comfortable where I am, but then again, I'd like to see a variety of something that's more fitting to anything else that I've played before.
That's why for me it's interesting because Riot's made it very clear, and the 2X team has made it very clear. What do they want to nail down beyond anything else? The gameplay, the core of it, the foundation of how the game plays more than anything else. Characters, don't get me wrong, are a factor to that, but they're not the entirety, because characters are just who you choose to, like the gameplay styles you choose to play with, right? Like that's on the player side. That's individual balancing, right? That you deal with. So a part of me feels like they are kind of in that this first year, the game. Yeah, I guess, you know, it's funny. I don't know. Could we officially call it that it's out? I guess because early access, but it's weird. The season 0. I want to call it season 1 is the official start of it, right? The official release. I think what they're gonna do is that their first year is just going to be focused on the core, the gameplay, the weird shit that happens that really probably shouldn't be happening, where maybe 2Hs are just like not consistent in certain ways. I mean, we've already had patches like that, right? Where they're just very weird interactions that if you're taking the game to a competitive level, like should not be there, right? Like they're cleaning things up and making sure the gameplay is being tweaked, where they've already tweaked things like fuses like Juggernaut, right? Where you don't start with Fury from the rip, you start at 75% starting out in the match, because like you would get TOD'd like instantly if you got hit once at a round start. Like that's not fun, right? Yeah. Like they're making sure the core of it is going to be like successful, and that it's fun, and that it works, and that it meets the bar that they set for themselves and what the community is setting for them. I think one character per season is a byproduct of that. Once they have it down, which this is assumptions once again. I do not work on the game. I do not have any direct correlation with the game in any way, shape, or form. Just putting it out there.
Just press button.
I just press buttons. But I believe that's what their direction they're going, because there's, you know, it's been a big factor since the game got announced, right? Like as soon as we found out it was a tag game, it's like this needs to come out with this many characters, and as soon as they announced you're coming out with 10, we were like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean 10? Because they're like, listen, we get it. Like there's no way they don't understand it. They are not aware as in terms of like the roster being a big component here, but they want to hit that core piece more than anything else. That's priority 0 for them. Once I think they're in a good spot and they deem it that the team is like, this is in a great place, I feel like we're going to see an acceleration of rosters of characters being added. So I think the first year is slow, but I think the intention of that is so that way they don't commingle. Like, what's the point of adding more characters if the game at its core is not good? That's just not fun. You could have the most fun character ever, but if the core gameplay is not fun and doesn't enable you to have fun with said character, it's ass. The whole thing is ass. It's a 2-pack of ass, right? Like it just does not work. So I think that's the direction, because like when I first heard 1 per season, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, Mezza, we talked about it before. Yeah. Like 2 would be fun because 2 lets you create a brand new team. Exactly. Right? Like it lets you create a brand new original team with content that's fresh for that season, and like that's great. Like that, I think that's like the minimum you can get. It's like I get 1 brand new team per season. That's sick. That's really cool to say, versus like, oh, I get 1 character that I then have to make a combination with every other character and find out if it works, right? And then fuses on top of that. So I think we'll get to that point, but you know, with season 1 or year 1 being the 5 seasons and we're only going to get 5 characters, I say by season 2, they might, you know, put a little bit more gas, you know, a little more pedal to the metal kind of deal, as long as they feel good about the gameplay. Because right now, this is all data. This is just all data to them. They're just getting all this feedback and they're being transparent about it, which is great. And they're like, hey, we hear you. We're going to tweak this. We're going to do that. Here are the dates that it's happening. And this is why. And, you know, as they should. But it's great that they're doing it to the degree they're doing it so early, because they know early impressions matter.
Yeah, I just hope they don't make super drastic changes. Like, obviously, I think nerfs and buffs are good, but making very drastic changes that changes the way it can be a turnoff. For instance, Ari's changes really turned me off. So, but I look for another character where Vi fills in that gap. But again, this is what happened to me in Mortal Kombat X with the slowdowns of the overheads. You know, you played Cassie.
Yeah.
The slowdowns of her overhead in particular was just like, I don't like. I get it competitive wise, but like, it changed the characters.
It's a very thin line. It's a very thin line to do, right? Balancing is not easy. Balancing a tag game is essentially not easy, and balancing a tag game of 2 characters and the fuses is not easy, especially when it's your first fighting.
I will 100% tell you, based off of track record right now, the alpha to alpha was the drastic change. It was one thing that was going to happen, but if you look at the release to the current patch, it's not drastic. It's so minor that it almost feels like nothing changed, but stuff did, right? So I think they're going to stay on that path for minor changes, because obviously new season, they'll have something ready in between, probably small minor changes.
No, but I don't agree with changing. For instance, Yasuo's change was just literally buff his air fireball, but it's almost okay. It's something that I stated when I was I had footage of me playing a dev that we're working on, but like I don't know how pertinent it is now. However, one thing I asked was like, when you guys took something out, did you sort of like, you took down a tree, did you plant a tree? You know what I mean? Did you take something out? Did you put something back in? And that's something that I would like for Mortal Kombat to do sometimes. But like this is something that they did. Like Ari has obviously changed from one to the other with the reload system before and this now. But it's drastic to you. To me, I only played the first beta, so like the alpha.
I mean, no, it was drastic because I played Ari in Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. But to kind of like mesh everything back to the main topic, so I did some research. All of their games, every 3 months, they release a new character. This is known fact. 4 to 5 characters were getting released in the very beginning of League of Legends. Valorant was getting a new character every 3 months. And now we're seeing the same thing happen with this, which is perfectly fine. 2XKO should have a new character every, 3 months, right? That's technically a season, 90 days roughly.
Yeah, we used to season passes where we get 4 characters and like 1 season pass, right? Like we're getting it right now with Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. I think the biggest factor is looking at something like Marvel Rivals. They use this as data in the beginning to gauge if the audience is staying, connected. Yeah, perceptive, connected. And I think that's not a problem this first year, but I think if they see a little slight dwindle, I think now you need to start doing maybe every 3 months, you do need to release 2 characters. And I do agree with the pairs. The pair, Teemo and Warwick came out together. That actually felt like I was like, whoa, there's so much stuff to do. There's so many characters to go through with this. And then I'm just like, this is going to be a pain in the ass. But then like, when I get one character, I'm like, what if I just don't like the character? Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Warwick. I think he's good. I think he's fun. I think he's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of Warwick. I'm a big fan of Teemo. I will play him on the side for 100% outside of competitive. He'll be really fun to play. But at the end of the day, I only found half the content enjoyable. Versus if it was only Warwick, I would have been like, well, fuck that. I'm not playing him. So I kind of like that. Yes, they're doing it every 3 months. Maybe they could speed track it to 2 months in the second year.
Potentially.
And that'll be better. Because that's what Marvel Rivals did. They said they actually speed tracked their seasons. And they probably have a bigger team. I don't know. But every 2 months was a season, and they would get 2 characters, one in the beginning and one in the middle. That's a lot to ask for. I'm not asking for that, but if they want to do it, maybe that's the best way to do it for 3 months. One in the beginning, and somewhere in the middle there, just smack dab, just throw another character in. Or my perception would be, give me 2 characters in the beginning of that first 3 months of the first beginning of the year, and then for that next 3 months, give me a fuse. Give me a new fuse. 2 fuses a year. Or maybe one.
I don't. It's funny. The fuses part. I'm keeping it to characters because we know that's what we're getting. But a fuse would be very interesting to do. I remember
fuse a year.
Actually, somebody patched like, "Hey, what about like a Roman cancel fuse?" I was like, "Ooh."
What about a no chip fuse? Somebody brought that up to me. What about a no chip? I think it was Gio Brown. He said, "What if there was a fuse that you took no chip damage instead of Fury?"
Then you won't be. Then you shouldn't be able to parry.
I think you should.
Like why chip exists is because you can parry.
Well, when you're in Fury, you don't get chipped. So I think what they should do is just remove Fury. You can only break.
There's a lot that can be done.
Yeah, anyway, I'm just saying. Yeah. We can speculate all that and have all this great fanfic as to the fuses. But at the end of the day, I think the season cadence will pick up. I'm actually confident it will, because like I said, their priorities are clearly, as what they stated multiple times now, it's going to be the core gameplay. Characters, yes, great importance, and they know, and they've got just so many, right? Like there's so many characters, so they've got like a whole treasure trove ready to just drop, that people will be like, yo, give me my ribbon, give me my Renekton, give me my fucking Mundo. Whatever drops, they're gonna go for it. They've got bangers ready to go, but they want to make sure the game is good first. So once that is settled, I think we're gonna see an uptick in characters. But what you guys to let us know, we're gonna be putting up on the poll this week for 2 characters or just 1 per season for 2XKO. Which one would you prefer? Make sure to vote on that. We're posting that up on our Discord, social medias, as well as on our Spotify platforms, so you guys can get involved there if you're listening on Spotify as well. Make sure to vote, and we'll tally up those results for next week's episode. But that is going to be it for us this week, guys. Pretty lengthy episode. We have plenty to catch up on, but there's plenty more to get into. Fighting games are having a bit of a renaissance, as some people would say, with all the things that are getting announced, all these updates, 7-year-old games getting updates, and more things around the block. I'm excited, and I hope everyone else is too. But we appreciate y'all hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. If you haven't already, make sure to follow my awesome host here. Make sure to follow StaticGorilla at StaticGorilla, the Tong Destroyer in 2XKO. I'm sorry, Tong. I saw the match. You did lose 2-1, dog. It is what it is. But yeah, Static, where can they find you at?
StaticGorilla on most major platforms, but also on Fridays, usually on playing Marvel on my stream. Trying to finish up Clair Obscure Expedition 33. We're getting that grind on. And finally, this Sunday, I'll be at DIY for 2XKO tournament. I think some other co-host of mine will be there too. Mezza, what do you got going on?
Hi. You can find me at Mezza FGC, where I'll be at DIY as well. Bonus track.
Are you guys doing it?
Yeah, we are
doing it. Duoing.
Yeah, we're doing it, bro.
Yourself.
Hell no. I'll be duoing with a sidekick character. But no, we're gonna play solo. I will be obviously playing there as well. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing streaming with 2XKO a lot more again. Had to take a little bit of a break after doing Crystal of Atlan's 3v3 tournament. But yeah, we're gonna be back on track for doing that and some other games.
Sweet. Awesome. Make sure to check those guys out. You can follow me at Crashtag BS. More importantly, make sure to follow the show at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms, Bluesky, YouTube. Make sure to join, of course, our Discord as well. Doubletap.gg/Discord. Come join our awesome community there. You guys, thanks for chilling with us and checking in on us during the break. Making sure that we were alive. We were alive. I was very impressed with and very surprised and humbled with the amount of people like, yo, no pod? Like, yo, is Double Tap done? Like, trust, if there's show whatever to be done, you'll hear it from us. We won't just leave you guys hanging. So all love to everyone that was checking in. But once again, join us. Say what's up. Doubletap.gg/Discord. Say, drop some knowledge there. We do have a question of the week to post up about, but we'll be putting it there. And also make sure to check out the socials for the polls. When we also post up the episode, when it goes live, we do also make sure to get a post as soon as possible. So all love to everyone that's going to be checking that out. But that's going to be it for us. We're going to be not live. We're going to have another episode in 2 weeks. Maybe something earlier than that because there's just so much going on at the moment. Maybe we'll have some 2X content. Maybe we'll be able to get on some ranked, get some matches recorded, get some YouTube content going on.
We'll have myself fresh back from First Attack that day. So yeah,
yes,
World Warrior.
Absolutely. We got a World Warrior coming up on the next episode. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But I've been Crash. That's been Static. That's been Mezza. And we'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Bye.